Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Stan Lee figure, and I have been waiting for this for some time. This was teased quite a while ago as being a Build-A-Figure that was going to be included in two different 2-packs, and unfortunately that never came around just due to the end of Stan's life. There was a lot of allegations of elder abuse, and I assume there was probably some likeness rights things, and things that just Hasbro, I'm sure, did not want to get caught up in. But now we finally have all that stuff sorted out, and we have Stan Lee forever immortalized here in plastic, and it looks great. And of course, here is Stan in the front window with his accessories. Very cool looking. On the side, I love it. We get the Excelsior with Stan Lee's signature there, and it's going to be the same on both sides. And in the back, we do get a product shot as well as a poster from the first Avengers movie, inspired by Stan Lee's cameo as a skeptical chess player in Marvel's The Avengers. That's the small read-up that we have down there at the bottom. Very, very cool looking figure. Really excited to get it. I don't know if you want to call it a fan channel exclusive, a Marvel 80 years, whatever you want to call it. Let's get it out of the package and take a look at Stan Lee. And here is Stan Lee outside of his packaging, and so excited to get this figure. He's really going to fit in really any spot of my collection, whether it be the MCU side, the comic book side, doesn't really matter. It's Stan Lee, one of the godfathers of comic books, and I would say one of the more public faces of just superheroes in general. Very, very much put himself out there, narrated cartoons that I watched as a kid, appeared in movies I watched as an adult, so just awesome to have him again immortalized in plastic form. He does come with two accessories, the first being the Captain America shield, which is a regular Captain America shield we've seen before, but of course we do have this Stan Lee autograph across the top, and then we do get this folded up chessboard, which again is a callback to his cameo in Avengers, where he's in Central Park and he looks over his shoulder and says, "Superheroes in New York?" That's a terrible Stan Lee impression, but we get some paint on the hinges or the clasps there, and a little bit of detail there with the chess squares. And I'm not really sure what other accessories you would have included with him that they would have had the licensing for. I went and printed off this little Amazing Fantasy number 15 comic book that I think I'll have him displayed on. It's just a printout of the first 2 pages, and then the front cover and back cover, so if you want to make one, it's nothing special. Now, when standing straight up, this figure is coming in at about 6 1/8 inches tall, which makes him about 15.5 centimeters, so a good height. But let's go ahead now and jump in, get a better look at Stan's sculpt and paintwork, and check out the rest of the figure. And here is Stan Lee up close, and man, what a great likeness that Hasbro got here, and we even get his uneven hairline there, but yeah, look at that. It's just a very well done, using of course Hasbro's new digital scan technology to get a very good and accurate likeness here on Stan, and we get some great paint, but some of the sculpted details, just the wrinkles of his face, his smile lines, the crow's feet, the wrinkles in his forehead, all that stuff came out fantastic looking. One complaint I do have, while I do like the glasses, they look great, I don't like where they go into his hairline. We can see a little bit of a gap there, so that is a little bit of a disappointment, but overall, it doesn't look too bad. And then speaking of the hair, we get a good-looking gray hair with some highlights going through just to help the details stand out. So I really do like that, and I think Hasbro just nailed it. Then when we look at the rest of the body, we get a relatively plain civilian body. So we just get the jacket with the button-up shirt underneath there, and yeah, I mean, not a whole lot else going on with that. A little bit of paint on the belt buckle, actually pretty decently accurate, and it actually looks like for the belt too, we actually have the belt loops painted, so it's not just straight black all the way around. Yeah, look at that. He's actually got his belt loops painted. Not bad. And then we actually going down, so pretty standard looking pants, but we get some good looking shoes. They did a really good job with the sculpt work. One thing, though, I will say is he was a little bit wobbly when I was trying to stand him up, so I was going to put him on a peg, but he doesn't have any peg holes at the bottom of either of his feet. He has the template, if you will, but because the soles of his boots are so thin, they couldn't do a peg hole because it would go right through. So that is actually kind of odd to see on a figure, to have the peg holes just sort of be fake. But yeah, I mean, the sculpted detail on everything just looks really well done. I mean, you can see his jacket even has pockets. You can see the zipper. It would have been really neat if they had actually painted the zipper, but as it sits, that still doesn't look bad. So very nice, very well done, and of course the head sculpt really sells it. Now looking at the articulation on this figure, of course, so you have a head that can go all the way around, and he does actually get a little bit of wobble back and forth. It's a little bit stiff, but he can look down even further than that. There we go. He could bury his head all the way down. You get a little bit of a bump there, though. And then he can look up quite a ways, but he kind of gets a weird gap there on the neck. So, yeah, that's kind of a thing. His arms can come up quite far, though, so a little bit beyond 90 degrees there, so that's pretty good. Full rotation, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then you do have rotation and a hinge at all the wrists. He does have an ab crunch under there, and it's actually pretty decently deep there going forward. Going back, not too bad. It feels like I'm forcing it there, so I think I'm probably cutting into the back of the hinge. Yeah, that's not the jacket stopping it. But either way, even if you go back, you get a little bit of a gap there. And then I didn't even notice, yeah, he's got, even the buttons are painted. That looks great. He's got legs that can not come apart very far. He can kick forward, not too bad. Backwards, almost non-existent. He does have an upper thigh cut, a double jointed knee, and then he doesn't have rotation down here, but he does have your standard hinge and swivel. So he doesn't have any kind of boot rotation though, but he does have ankle pivot, so that's really nice. And that is going to do it for this review, everyone. And remember, this Amazing Fantasy book that's made, custom made, that doesn't come with a figure, but keep in mind, it's really easy to make. Scale down a picture of the cover and the back cover, Amazing Fantasy, print it out on my printer, and just for fun, I even made sure that on the inside, you had the first few pages. That way, no matter how you're looking at Stan, it looks like he's reading the Amazing Fantasy number 15. But anyway, honestly, as far as my review of this figures goes, I love it. I think having Stan for the collection is awesome. He's going to look great on my MCU shelf, and I'm probably going to have him displayed just like this. I will say, from a figure standpoint, to not try to gush over the subject of the figure, and just looking at things like that hair, having the gap in it with the glasses, yes, that's a bummer, but it can be overlooked. The articulation is not fantastic in the legs, but being that I'm going to be using this for Stan, that's not a big deal. If your plan is to use this as a civilian body for one of the heroes, yeah, you might have some limitations in the articulation, especially if you're going to do like a Peter Parker in civilian outfits, or in a civilian outfit. Yeah, you might not have too many dynamic poses. And of course, he doesn't come with any interchangeable accessories. He just comes with that chessboard and the shield. But, for Stan, I don't think you would have any interchangeable accessories. He doesn't need fisted hands and things like that. So I'm going to take it as it is and just be really happy that I got this guy. I will have here at the end, you're going to see probably right now some pictures of this body with some different head sculpts on it, so you can see how the flesh tones and things like that will line up if you did want to do that, as far as having a civilian version of some heroes. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling now. Like I said, great figure, really happy to add it to the collection, and I think it is worth it for anybody who certainly has the Marvel Legends collections going. So if you like this review, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more content just like this. And aside from that, thanks for watching my video, and have a great day.